So are you in a place where you're trying to find your purpose, trying to find that meaning, what really lights you up, brings you joy? In today's video, I'm going into 3 different ways and exercises that you can play with to find that meaning, to find that purpose for yourself. So thank you for joining me. I'm AmyC with You Finding You. I'm an intuitive and transformational coach. And I help you step into that place in yourself that has found purpose, that is finding that meaning in your life and then living aligned to it and living in a place where you are living that purpose in your life. So continuing the theme this week, I'm going into finding meaning, like what is meaning for you and finding your purpose. And today specifically, I wanted to go into different exercises, a few different exercises that you can do to actually find it. I know for myself that I spent so much time thinking, doing work, that work was my purpose. And so my life was just around work. And when I started getting burned out, when I started getting to a place where I'm like, this isn't fun anymore, I actually realized I was just chasing things outside of me. I was just looking for status or looking for things that I thought would fill me up. But it never did. And when I stepped away from actually doing that work, I was like, well, what do I do? Like, who am I? And so I actually had to start looking at different ways and exploring more of what really brought me joy, like what really lit me up. So I'll go ahead and jump into some of the exercises that you can try out and see if it starts to open up this idea of who you are and what you can do to, really enjoy life and live more of that. And yeah, you can be working and then doing these things outside of work as well, these things that light you up. And it could eventually transition into that's what you're doing for a living too. So the first thing that I want to mention is if you're like, yeah, I don't know my purpose, I don't know what it is, and you have this attitude of, yeah, I don't know, then you're going to be stuck in this place of, I don't know what it is. And it also is then kind of closing doors of being open to seeing what your purposes, things you want to do are. So the first thing is to shift that thought of, yeah, I don't know, to I'm curious. I'm curious to find out. Like, I want to know, what are things that really light me up? What are things that really fill me up and give me meaning and purpose? And then set aside the shoulds and expectations. So not only from yourself of like, I should be doing these things, I need to, these expectations you have, but also the society ones, your friends, your family, they're going to be putting on all these, you should be doing this, you should look this way, these are expected of you. Set those things aside because that's not what is true in here. They are shoulds. They're like, I need to do this, and not always aligned with who you want to be or what you want to be doing. So again, like, put it on the shelf for now. It's like you can hear it, you can listen and see it, but it's like, yeah, for now, while I'm exploring what I really want, what really lights me up, I'm not going to listen to that voice or those voices. As well, along with the shoulds and expectations, set aside work. Like, go beyond what you do for work and go beyond the idea of work, like it's bringing in money. It's like the passion and joy in your purpose. You can start off exploring different things, and it doesn't have to be about money or income. Now, you can have it be that too, but you can have it just be something that fills you up and brings you purpose and joy. And eventually, like I mentioned before, maybe it does start to bring in an income and you can live off of it. But initially, go beyond this idea of work and it needing to be work, but also go beyond your current work. And like I had mentioned about me, like for years, work was my life and I thought that was my purpose, but It really wasn't. Like, yeah, I enjoyed what I did, but it didn't fill up those real true joys inside of me. So the first exercise is creating a bucket list challenge. And what this is just create a bucket list. You know, like what are experiences, what are things that you want to create, you want to do. Again, having experiences, like make a list, and it could be as big or small. And when I say bucket list, a lot of times we think of these big things that we have to do. But I'm talking about this in the sense of what are things you would really enjoy doing? What are things that, you know, even just as small as it might be, of like, on a Sunday afternoon, I want to sit at a cafe and have a cup of tea. You know, it's like, oh, well, put that on the list. Like, put all these things on the list and then look through the list and see what excites you. Like, what things on the list actually kind of bring up a, oh, now that would be fun. That I actually would really enjoy doing. So, as you see which ones really excite you, then what are small steps you can start taking towards actually doing it? So, again, it's just making the list, looking through, see which ones give you some excitement, and then start taking steps towards it. And I know for myself, like recently, I was like, I want more of a community of friends. I just moved to a new location and I have no one here in person. While I do have online, it's like, oh, I want community. And the thing that actually was so nerve wracking for me was reaching out on different social platforms for the communities here. And I was like, I don't know about this, but I did it. And amazingly, within a very short period of time, I have a community of friends here. So I offer that up as you might have hesitations or little fears, but it's like, can you step beyond those little fears and start taking steps towards what it is that it's like, you know, this will light you up. You know, this will bring you what it is that you're seeking and wanting. Then the next exercise that you can try out is 5 whys exercise. So similar, I know Mel Robbins has talked about this, of just asking why. And so come up with a few different things that you're like, oh, this would be fun. This would actually bring me joy. I would like doing this. And then ask why. And keep asking why. And get deeper and deeper. Because when you get deeper, you then are seeing really what you're craving, like what you're wanting and desiring, and the values that you want in your life. And you can explore then other ways of possibly meeting that need in yourself, that desire in yourself. So, again, this is just choosing a couple things that seem interesting to you, and then go, why, and keep asking that question of why and going deeper and seeing what emerges for the values, for your desires, and really what is underlying that interest that you have. And then finally, the third exercise that you can try out is for a week, create a joy journal. And what that is that each day, at the end of the day, you look back at your day and say, what brought me joy? And then keep this little list of things. And what it does is throughout the week, you'll become aware of those little moments throughout your week that was like, this actually really brought me joy. This was fun. And you can then explore why, or what was it in those activities, in those connections, in whatever it is, like what was it that actually brought that joy? So again, it's just looking at each day and reviewing really what brought you joy, what lit you up throughout the day. And then if you continue doing this journal, you can look back and say, are there reoccurring themes here or activities that actually really brought me joy? And it's starting to illuminate really over time, seeing what things actually really lit you up, really made you happy, really brought meaning to you. So again, here's a few different exercises that you can try out, and you can do one of them or all of them and see what starts to light you up. And it's about you and what you want, what your desires are. Again, putting those shoulds aside, those expectations aside, putting these ideas of have tos and all those things aside and just start to see what is it you truly desire, you want, and through it, finding that meaning in yourself and finding your purpose and what you want to really be here doing. So thank you guys for joining me today. And if you are enjoying these videos, do hit that like, share, and subscribe. Thank you again. I'll see you in the next video.